Hey everybody. As promised, I am here to give you what I guess I'm going to call a ShellyTalk, for lack of whatever it is that I'm going to call this. And I told you last week that as we go through some troubled waters over the next 3 or 4 years, whatever it is, we need to have something that'll make us happy or make us feel good for a couple of minutes. And so I'm going to try and put my voice into that. We'll see what happens. But tonight, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my grandmother. Her name was Helen Clay Sprague. She never went by Helen. She hated it. And so she called herself Peg. I don't know exactly where that came from, but Peggy Sprague. And didn't have Margaret or anything there, so I have no clue. I just think she made it up. But she was my person, the one person in the world that made me feel safe and loved, and there was never any condition about any of that. It was just there. And she had a lot of grandkids, a lot, but most of them because of divorces that made things very difficult. They did not have a lot of contact with her. So that left me and my cousins Lori and Brian. And they were also very dear to her as well. But as Grandma said, I was born a grandma's girl. And from the moment that I guess we laid eyes on each other, that's just how it played out. When she passed away, my mother was the only girl in the family because there were 3 brothers. And a lot of what Grandma had went to my mother because she was the girl, including jewelry. I've also got a big curio cabinet of her things, everything from Hummels to incredible glassware and carnival glass, all kinds of stuff. You name it, whatever it is that, nice women collected, in their homes, she had it. Plus her family at one time before the Depression had a great deal of money. And so there were some of those, treasures that were in that cabinet as well. I inherited that along with, as I mentioned, some of her jewelry. At least I think I mentioned it. And some of her books and, a few things. Anyway, just grandma stuff. But it seemed that much of what she had, there were notes attached to them. So that way I would know exactly what it was, or Mom would, and not throw it away. She was very concerned that we would throw away pictures or any of these sorts of things. And she repeated it often that she didn't want us to throw anything away. Okay, message received. When Mom died, all of this came to me. And I don't know how many of you remember the story of my mother passing away, but it was very fast, and it was bladder cancer. And from the time she was diagnosed until the time she died, it was exactly 6 months, which could have been a whole lot worse, but it was still extremely devastating to me and no doubt to her. When she passed away, I didn't want to see anything of hers. Get it out of here. Her clothes, her costume jewelry, her anything. I wanted the smell, her smell out of this house, because it broke my heart to walk in here and to smell your mom's, scent. We all have a special scent, but to smell it and know that you're never going to see her again, I couldn't deal with it. So I had a contractor come in and pretty well tear up the whole house, get the carpet out of here, anything that I thought would have her scent on it. And my husband was still finding things of hers as well as my grandmother's, and one of which was a container, a little blue container that used to have loose face powder in it, and it belonged to Grandma. And there were pearls in it that had been given to her by my great-grandfather when she graduated high school. And she was in the first graduating class of a brand new high school in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which she wasn't real happy about having to move to Fort Wayne from the little town where they were at, but it was the Depression. Everybody had to make do. But there were pearls rolling around in this container and a note in there that said that they had been given by her father and that they were very special. And so my husband thought he took a chance, really, because I was still grieving. So he didn't want those to get lost in the shuffle. So he saw about getting them restrung. And he could do that, but I think that he thought maybe I wouldn't wear them because I just wasn't a pearl-wearing kind of person. So he decided to restring these, and here they are. I'm trying to get close enough so maybe you can see them. The pearls have little silver beads in between them. And he did this by himself. He has a paralyzed right arm, and he has a hand that's cramping from overuse. Yet he was still able to do this and make a lovely piece of jewelry. This does not do it justice, but this is something that I would wear. And I opened it on Christmas. So many of the things that I saw that had belonged to my family just wrecked me. This didn't. I took it out and I kept looking at it and saying, how beautiful. This is so unique. And just examining it. And of course, I had to put it on. It's just beautiful. And it's doing what my grandmother wanted, which is putting it to good use. So when I wear it, she's with me. And I have a gift from my husband who thought enough to take a chance and try and make me happy, which at the time was pretty hard to do because I was still grieving so. And they're very special to me, very precious to me. So I wanted to share those with you. If you have any ideas of things that you would like for me to talk about or anything that you would like to share about your life, let me know. I mean, this is going to be for all of us. And as time goes on, I'm going to tell you more about Grandma and why she was my person and why she meant as much to me as she did. We had a very long and beautiful history together. And I'm just so happy that she was there and that God gave her to me. Or God gave me to her because I came second or third because Mom was in between. Anyway, doesn't matter. But I just wanted you to know. So thanks for tuning in. And I love you guys. Peace.